Yeah, Mandy, people are upset about this policy, but I'm not sure how many actually got past the headlines, because if you did read, you'd find out that this exercise by Korean Air will be in place for 3 weeks. You can opt out if you don't feel comfortable being weighed, and it's also required by law. Now, weighing passengers isn't exactly new. We saw it earlier this summer from Hawaiian Airlines and Air New Zealand. But the question really is, well, why? Now, airlines are quick to play up the safety aspect of this, saying that they do it to get standard passenger weight that they use for many calculations when they fly. But the sources that I spoke to for a story that we published on CNBC.com this morning disagreed as to whether it's really necessary, especially when we're talking about big jets like 737s and above. Now, one source said this is already built into the calculations, which tend to overestimate passenger weight. But another source said, look, people are getting bigger, and they have been for the past couple of decades, so it makes sense to do these periodic assessments of weight. Now, where the sources agreed, however, is that passenger weight is a much more relevant topic when we're talking about fuel efficiency, which ultimately will boil down to costs. And another issue that's not up for contention, this is that passengers are getting bigger, but those chairs that we sit in when we fly, well, they're getting smaller. And I talked to one expert, his name is Vance Hilderman out of the United States, and I asked him, is there any chance that aircraft manufacturers are planning to build and design planes with bigger seats? He said, don't hold your breath. He said there's 29,000 commercial aircraft right now. 1,500 we see about coming onto the market every year. So at that rate, it would take 20 years to replace the global fleet. Well, what about refitting planes that we currently have? He said, yeah, that's also possible, but not practical, because now we're talking about widening seats, which means reducing the aisle. We know the aisle is already a tight fit. So if we redo that, then you're talking about taking out one seat per row for the entire length of the aircraft, which he estimated would make costs go up across the board about 20 to 25%.